What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Avengers Beyond Earth's Mightiest Avengers 60th Anniversary single figures. So we have just all the packs with individual figures in them. So first up we have Iron Man in the Model 1 armor. So the very first Iron Man armor, which looks really cool. I love it, just in the all basic like gray, silver color, whatever it is. And then we also have Black Widow in a cool design. Of course, looks like our normal Black Widows, but just overall new design with new hair and everything. So those look really cool. Then we also have Hawkeye with his Sky Cycle. So this is pretty cool. So we just have the classic Hawkeye look, but then the Sky Cycle, which is really cool. We've never had that before, so that looks pretty awesome. And then finally we have the Super-Adaptoid. Of course, this is a big like 12-inch figure, so big figure here, but it looks pretty cool. So it's like an all green version of like a Captain America thing with their accessories and stuff to make it of all the different Avengers characters. So that looks pretty cool there as well. So we have these 4 figures to look at today, so I'm excited to check them all out. So let me go ahead and get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with Iron Man in the Model 1 armor. While overseeing a military demonstration in Saigon, Tony Stark tripped a booby trap that lodged shrapnel into his chest, and he was taken captive by the terrorist Wong Chu and promised that they would give him an operation to save his life if he built them a powerful weapon. So they gave Tony access to a laboratory with another captive, Professor Ho Yinsen, and together they built an electrically powered suit of armor with heavy weaponry and a pacemaker device that would keep Tony alive. Yinsen sacrificed his life to distract Wong Chu so the suit could fully charge, and while wearing the suit, Tony was able to escape. So we see a very similar scene in the first Iron Man movie when he makes the Model 1 armor, but in this suit he has superhuman strength and durability, as well as an electrical current, gas bombs, and a flamethrower. So very minimal technology in the suit, but I think overall it looks pretty cool. Of course, as I just mentioned, we saw this in the first Iron Man movie. Of course, this is from the comics, but I think it looks pretty similar overall, and has very similar design. So it's just a big suit of armor made of all metal and all sorts of stuff. So big barrel chested version. I like how it has sort of like the arc reactor design there in his chest, but nice like blue light and stuff. That looks pretty cool. And I love all the scratches and dents, so you can see he's been in a fight. So I love that going all throughout the armor there, and just how I love it's like this all like grayish silver color. But I love the big clunkiness of it. So the big like rounded off head with the, of course, the eyes and mouth holes and stuff, almost like a little antenna over here to the side. And like I said, just the big like beefiness that runs throughout the body there to the hands, where you kind of have sort of where you can shoot stuff off there, belt around the waist, and then the big chunky legs going down to the boots and all that. So I just love how big and like clunky this is. I think it just looks awesome. Of course, like I said, with the movie we saw a design like this, but I just love this design just because of how like smooth and sleek it is. So I just think it's awesome to finally have a Model 1 in the comic version because I think it looks awesome. But we'll do the movement so the head can twist all the way around, can look down a little. It's hard because of his chin, so you can kind of get in front of the neck piece there and then up a little, or you can kind of go back behind the neck piece. So you can choose either option there, but yeah, not a whole lot of movement, obviously because of the limitation of the range of this and then just the overall design stuff. So it's not expected a whole lot of movement there, but the shoulders do come up to 90 and rotate around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint, which of course there's not much room for the double, but it does have it there, so it still just bends about 90. Depending on how you bend exactly either way, you're just going to get a 90 degree there. Wrist can twist around and flex back and forth, and then we have like an ab crunch, but it's mostly at the waist down here, so it crunches back and forth and can twist all the way around. Then we go to the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side, thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint, again, much like the elbow, you're not going to get a whole lot of range because of the clunkiness, but about that far. And then we go down to the feet that can rock back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty nice design. Obviously doesn't have the best range, which like I said, with a suit like this, you're not going to expect the best range. But I just like this figure a lot because it has like a nice like smoothness, like obviously of the texture and figure itself. But like with the movements and stuff, they have a really nice design to it, which a lot of the more modern Iron Man have. So it's almost like they make the Iron Man figures out of a different plastic or something because it always feels so much different. But yeah, this is another one that I just absolutely love just because the overall feel and look and design of it. So it's just really awesome. But then we get some accessories. So first we get some fist hands. We have some fists there. So similar design, just obviously in a fist form instead of the open hands. And then we get some blast effects. I assume to be like repulsor effects, but I know in the hands there, they're kind of flat. And then with this, he doesn't have the repulsor. So I'm wondering if these actually go into his boots. So probably stick them in the boots on here. You can see they have the double holes. So I assume they stick into these extra holes that are here and not the normal just feet holes. So let's go and stick these in. So there's those blast effects coming out of his boots now. So there Iron Man can be flying as he escapes. Of course, you can't really get him to look up too much or anything, but he could be flying off there now. So that's pretty cool. Of course, having this, he can't stand, but it is cool. He does come with those effects and it's made for his feet. So I think that is pretty cool. But obviously with that, I don't want to use them because then I can't get him to stand up. And then for comparison, the closest thing I have is this version of Iron Man, which is similar to the Model 2. So it it almost looked exactly like this. So I just grabbed this figure so you can see what he transferred to from the Model 1 into the Model 2. So just pretty cool to see those differences and stuff with our more classic Iron Man design compared to this Model 1 version. But definitely love this figure. It's a nice big clunky figure, like I said, but it has really good movements and overall just feels really nice and stuff. So definitely love this figure. And then we got Black Widow, or Natalia Romanova, and she was a former Russian KGB agent that was part of the Black Widow Ops program by the Red Room to become a super spy, but she ended up defecting from the Soviet Union to the United States of America, and through her relationship with Hawkeye, she was hired by Nick Fury to spy on behalf of S.H.I.E.L.D., and later down the line, she would eventually join up with the Avengers to become a co-leader along with Black Knight. Now, Black Widow doesn't have any superpowers, but she's a master spy and assassin, and she has peak strength, speed, reflexes, and durability. And then she also wears gauntlets with tear gas pellets, radio transmitter, and a 100-foot cable, as well as her Widow by electric shocks, and then wears a belt full of explosives. So she looks pretty cool here in a new design, at least new body design. I don't know if like all the details are exactly new or anything, but at least body wise this is going to be new because she has all pinless joints, and then she has some extra joints to give her like the best range possible for a Black Widow so far. And overall I think she looks pretty good. So there's the face of Natasha. So she comes with this like bobbed haircut on there, but I like how it's got her red hair, but it's kind of like flowing in the wind. So you got strands in front of her face and like hair sticking out to the side. So I think the head design overall looks pretty good, but if you get the hair out of the way, you can see more of her face. So it just looks like a pretty generic female face, both red lipstick and red eyebrows and stuff. So overall, I think the face and stuff looks pretty good there. And then she's got her all black skin tight suit, which looks pretty decent on her. I like how it's got the high collar and then the zipper sort of down, and how they have the zipper painted on. And she's got the gauntlets on her wrist, so there where she has her fights and stuff, and then the belt around the waist has the Black Widow design from the spider there, so that looks pretty good. And then just black all the way down to the feet, so looks pretty good there. It does look like there's a variation of the color, so it looks like a matte black into a more of a shiny black on the legs, so that's a little bit striking, the difference in there. But overall I think she looks pretty good the way she is here, pretty simple and basic, very classic for Black Widow, but I think it looks really good. But we'll do the movements, so the head can twist all the way around, and then she can look down that far and then up that far, so pretty good range there. And the neck, of course, got to worry about the collar and stuff, but it's still good. The shoulders come up to 90 and rotate all the way around, and we have a butterfly joint there too, so nice to have that thrown in. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint, which is a little stiff on this figure, so got to worry about the stiffness there, but with it can pretty much bend all the way up on itself, so really good with the movements there. Wrist twist around and hinge up and down, so the hand's a little bit off to the side, or the joint is, so it's a little bit weird, but can hinge up and down there. And then we get the ab crunch right under her chest, so crunch back and forth, and can twist all the way around there. And then she has an additional crunch at her waist, so if we move her belt up, you can see that crunch in there. So she has that, so she can crunch pretty good forward and back there together. So it'd be a little bit better if she had more range in the crunch under her chest, but it makes it a little better at least having that lower crunch. So she could have even more range, but what she has is good enough. Then we get the hips that can come up to over 90 there, and then out to the side, a thigh twist around, double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, so not far from kicking her butt, and then the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So good range of movements once again, like I said, so she has the best range of movements we've ever had for a Black Widow, so that makes it really cool. And then this also comes with a lot of accessories, so we'll go through all that, but it's just crazy that she wasn't considered a deluxe or anything because she comes with a lot of stuff. So it'd be cool if we got more characters like this where they just came with a lot of accessories at the basic price. So first we get some additional heads. So first off we have what I'd call like a classic head, so it's kind of like that classic Black Widow design with more poofed up hair, probably from close when she was first introduced. So let's switch that head out. So there's that head, and I think it looks pretty good. I love the like classic design of it and stuff. Obviously it's not my favorite design, but I think it looks very classic, of course, to like retro Black Widow design stuff. So definitely love having that head, but it's not my favorite. And then we get another head with more of like, say, a more modern design. I assume the short haircut's more modern, but looks more up to date and stuff with just long red hair. So that looks pretty good as well. So let's switch that out. So there's that hair design. I think that does look really good. That's probably one of my favorite designs for that. Definitely think it looks like Black Widow, how I remember her. So that's really cool. So we have those 3 different head options that we can pick and choose. And then if you even throw in like older Black Widow figures, you can get even different head options and stuff. But I think that one's probably my favorite so far. Then we get some additional hands. So first we get a set of fists. So we get a set of fists if you don't want to have those open hands there. And then we also get a set of hands with trigger fingers. Since of course you use guns a lot, we get trigger fingers, so we'll probably need those. We also get additional gauntlets, so gauntlets with the blast coming out. So we've had like these effects before, so the gauntlets with the blast shooting out of them. So let's go and switch these out. So there's those gauntlets on her. Of course, the blast effects are a little bit messed up, so we'd have to heat them up again straight out, but there we can have those. So it's like she's shooting out of her gauntlets. And then we also get a set with the smoke effects as well, so it's like she's just fired them off, so we can switch these out as well. So I decided just to switch one of the gauntlets out so it has the effect, so like she's already fired it off and it's firing off the one there on her left hand. So I think that looks pretty cool. So it just gives you different options to switch out between all the different gauntlets. And then finally for Black Widow, she comes with some guns as well. So we get two different pistols, one just like a normal pistol. Of course, it has the bigger end on it and stuff, so it looks more like the alien technology. And then we get the same gun but with a silencer on the end of it. And then these of course come with the effects, so we get the muzzle flare there, so we have of course like the bullets being shot out, and then we also have the smoke effects. So there it's like she just fired that gun as well. So again, multiple different options we can pick and choose. So let me try and figure something out and give her the weapons. So I just chose to give Black Widow both of the guns because I think that'd be the coolest thing and how I would prefer her more, just to be using the guns. And we can bring in some older Black Widow figures, so I decided to get this one just because it has that older hairstyle, so pretty similar design to what we saw, just has more of that older hairstyle and looks like, you know, pretty classic Black Widow there. And then we have the white suit version just because I thought this suit looked most similar to what she's wearing there, but obviously it has the different joints and stuff, but still came with the different accessories and everything, and a different hairstyle there that you could switch her out if you want to as well. So I just want to show those different versions of Black Widow to show you how this one compares to all the others. And overall, I'd have to say this is a really good figure. I really like the design. Of course, having this pinless joints with the double elbows and knees and everything for the females, that's really nice. And then having the additional joints like with that ab crunch and stuff just gives her the best movement she possibly can have. So overall, this is a really good Black Widow. And then we've got Hawkeye, whose real name is Clint Barton, and he joined a traveling circus at a young age after his parents died in a car accident. He had a skill for archery and became an attraction as Hawkeye, the world's greatest marksman, and he decided to become a hero by using his archery skills to fight crime, where he ended up coming across Black Widow, who enlisted Barton as her partner, and they fought against other heroes, and he eventually became unhappy with the criminal life, so he left his relationship with Black Widow and went to join the Avengers as a reformed hero on the team with Captain America, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver. And much like Black Widow, he has no superhuman powers, but he's a master archer and marksman and has peak human sight, reflexes, and condition, and he uses custom-made bows with quick release of quiver and trick arrows. And overall, I think he looks pretty cool here, so a very classic Hawkeye design for here. So this is definitely going to be my favorite Hawkeye because I just love the colors and everything they chose for this with the purple and the light blue color. I just think it looks amazing, and I've just always liked this design, but it looks really cheesy, but it looks pretty cool though. So he has the mask here that kind of comes up and it looks like this corner is a little bit like curved in, but it looks pretty nice there with the mask around his face with the H on top and nice like purple and everything. I love like the little mask flares off to the side. I always love that. And it comes down with almost like a chainmail or scaling, very similar to like Captain America has with the blue shirt underneath. And I love how it's got like the purple straps coming down around to the belt and the purple strap that's wrapped around him there. Purple bands around his arms and around his wrist. And then he's got blue pants that go all the way down as well with a skirting material that I love the design with the purple and that light blue color. And I like how they gave it a fabric one this time so it could fit on the sky cycle it comes with. And then he's got the purple boots there on his feet, similar like Captain America's boots, just in purple color this time. So definitely love this design. Like I said, it's very cheesy and just wish Hawkeye in the Marvel movies would actually wear this costume for once. I know we got to see a similar costume in the Hawkeye show, but for him to actually wear this costume would have been pretty fun for me. But yeah, just overall, I've always loved this design just because how cheesy and everything it is, but I just love the colors and all that. So definitely having this is really cool. And of course, with the more modern updated design stuff with pinless joints and everything, this is going to be a really good Hawkeye. But let's do the movement. So the head can twist all the way around. It can look down that far and up that far. So pretty decent head movements. Not the best, but pretty decent. The shoulders do come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far. So not too bad. Wrist can twist around and hinge back and forth. And then we get the ab crunch. So we have the ab crunch cut out in the middle here. And I love how it's got the strap designs where the straps like go up into the body. So as you do this, you're never breaking up the strap. So that's pretty cool. That's got that design that carries around to the back. Then we can twist all the way around at the waist. So this fabric material does kind of twist around there at the waist. So you'll just have to readjust it. Then the hips can come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist around. Then there's a double knee joint that's pretty stiff on the figure, but you can get it to bend up that far to the back. So not too bad overall. There's a shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot flexes bounces back and forth and twists side to side. So pretty decent range with everything on there. The only thing that's annoying is that these stupid arm straps keep like falling down. It'd be cool if they did like they did with the more recent X-Men figures where they have it like built into the body. It'd be cool if they did that so you wouldn't have to worry about them flopping around, but that's still something we just have to deal with. So there has to be at least some negative to this figure. Now accessory wise, he comes with some additional hands, so we get a grip hand and a fist hand to go along there with his grip and fist hand already, so just the opposites. And then of course we get his different bows and arrows. So first we've got his quiver, so quiver full of trick arrows and everything, so looks pretty good with the purple design with the arrows with the red feathers on them. So we can go and take this and stick it into his back, so that looks pretty cool hanging off his back there. And then of course we get his bows, so just like a classic bow design. We've seen this before with other characters, but we have this bow that we can put into his hand. So there's Hawkeye with the bow, and I think it looks pretty cool. And I did just realize that he does also have a butterfly joint in the arms. I didn't notice it earlier, but yeah, he does have a butterfly joint there too, so that'll help with moving the arms around to be able to pose. Now unfortunately he can't hold the bow too well because I feel he needs more of a hinge joint in the wrist for the hand to hold the bow, so unfortunately he can't hold the bow perfectly. But then he does also come with an arrow as well, and I don't think his hand has the split to be able to put the arrow in his hand, so I don't really know how he'd hold it. So there's about the best I can do. So yeah, he doesn't have the hole. You probably have to take a X-Acto knife or something and split the fingers to get the arrow to fit in there properly. But yeah, Hasbro still doesn't have the perfect bow mechanism figured out, so they still haven't figured out how to make it look where a character is actually using a bow and arrow, but that's pretty close there. It's not bad. Of course the bowstring needs to be back, but that's not too bad, at least compared to what we normally get with figures. Now before we move on to the Sky Cycle, I did just want to show a comparison to our older Hawkeye figures. So we have this one as well, so it has pretty similar designs with the purple and blue, just obviously different colors, and this one has the metallic and everything, but pretty similar design just overall. But yeah, definitely love this new one because it's more of that classic design and classic colors I love, so definitely love this Hawkeye figure. But of course with this he does also come with the Sky Cycle, which I did leave apart so I could just show you how to put it together. So we have like our main sled piece here, we have the base of it that we can pop it on. So for this you have this top piece here, so you take and slide it up in there and it slides into the slot, and then you just push it down on and it pops together there. So there we have the sled. We do also have the plastic screen that goes in the front. I assume yeah, it goes like this direction, that just slides into the front here, so we have like that windscreen there on the front. And then it does also come with the Hasbro's little stand thing that they've got with like speeder bikes and everything, and with this you can take and just pop it into the bottom here, so it keeps it up off the ground. So there we now have that can float up in the air there, so that is pretty cool. So now we can just take Hawkeye and put him on. So there's Hawkeye up on the Sky Cycle, which is pretty cool. I thought it'd be built a little bit different where there'd be like pegs on the bottom to stick his feet on just to help hold him on, but it overall does look pretty cool, and he can sit on there pretty well. It seems like a little bit too small or something for him, like I feel the figure is a little bit too big for it, but it does fit on there pretty well. Now the Sky Cycle is a flying vehicle used by non-flying members of the Avengers, and it's voice operated with hands-off steering, so like Hawkeye in this case can use it while still shooting arrows, and it can still fly around on its own. And so like I said, even though it doesn't have feet pegs or anything, you can see I'm moving around and he's not falling off or anything, so it's actually pretty stable and he sits on there pretty well. Pretty cool design overall, and awesome that he came with it, since it's kind of like a classic part of the Avengers with Hawkeye. As I said, since he can't fly or anything, he uses this to get around, so pretty cool that they did include that as well. But of course other members of the Avengers used it as well, so we would need more of them but don't need more Hawkeye. So I hope they do like more characters with him or something in the future so we have it, but very cool that it was included with Hawkeye here. So obviously love the figure, love the Sky Cycle as well, so this is just a really cool pack. And our final figure today is Super-Adaptoid, which is an android created by AIM using unstable molecules and a portion of the Cosmic Cube, and is programmed to defeat Captain America by infiltrating the Avengers headquarters by impersonating people such as Jarvis. But after he was defeated, it was taken to Goliath's lab, where it was able to adapt all of the Avengers' powers and formed an amalgamation of all the Avengers known as Super-Adaptoid. So he escaped the lab and fought Captain America and left believing he defeated him. But while in that lab, he was able to take on all the Avengers powers, so he has the ability to copy powers, appearance, and equipment of any super powered beings. And in that case I was talking about, he was able to get Cap, Goliath, Wasp, and Hawkeye. So in this version it's more of a modern version, so it still probably has those exact same powers, but it will also have Thor and probably Iron Man as well with that chest design. Not 100% sure there, but this is pretty much a big figure. It's a 12-inch figure, and it's pretty much just a remake of the Captain America big Marvel Legends figure they did years ago. Now I have that figure, figure, but I still kept it in box, so I don't have it to like show you comparison wise. But body wise, it's going to be everything about it's going to be exactly the same as Captain America. Just the only difference is they switched out the head, of course, made it all green and came with some different accessories. Like he has this chest plate on. Like I said, I assume that's supposed to be like Iron Man's arc reactor. We have the head design, which I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be. I know this is kind of like the classic Super-Adaptoid design, but I don't know if like these like eye pieces are supposed to be from like Hawkeye, like his head design, or maybe Wasp or something. I still think these two lines up here are like the classic Super-Adaptoid design, so probably nothing different there. But then, as I said, he's pretty much all of Captain America from the neck down, so pretty much all of it is exactly the Captain America figure, just painted in green this time. And then he'll come with some accessories to show some of the other characters. So I assume with the height, since this is a 12-inch figure, bigger than the normal Marvel Legends, that's supposed to have like the giant man or Goliath powers and stuff as well to make him super tall. So just different Avengers characters all thrown into one character here. But for the figure itself, the movements, we get the head that'll twist all the way around, and it can look down that far and up that far, so pretty good range there in the neck. The shoulders do come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far at least, so just about 90 there. There is a twist there in the gauntlet, so in the middle of the forearm there, and then we get the wrist that'll twist around, and this hand has a hinge up and down. Then we go to the ab crunch, so we can have this upper ab crunch, which doesn't really do much. Like, it does move, but it doesn't really do much of anything. Like, you can see it twist a little side to side, but it's not like actually twisting, like it's just kind of moving there and then goes back. And then there's very little crunching as well, so not much of anything there. The joint's there, but it doesn't really do much, or at least ours is stuck. But then we do have an ab cut out to the sides there that allows it to crunch even further back and forth. Then we get the hips that can come up close to 90 at least, and then out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, so not far from kicking the butt. And we get a shin twist at the top of the boot with the foot that'll flex back and forth. Doesn't really flex too much, but a little back and forth and twist side to side. So not the best movements overall, but for a big figure like this, and like I said, they took an existing figure already and just modified it into this Super-Adaptoid, which does work because Super-Adaptoids most of the time does have the look of Captain America, so it's not like they cheated out anything there. It looks like how it should, but just using that old figure, it does cut out some of the movements that I feel they'd probably throw in if they completely redesigned the figure new. But I think it does look really cool. Just the big like Captain America design figure in green is pretty cool. Now accessory wise, he does come with stuff. So first we get Thor's hammer, so a replica Mjolnir, so that is pretty cool with the design. Love like the handle design with the like wrapping, just does the leather strap there at the end, and then just the rock hammer design, again still all in green. So with this we can put it into his hand. The hand's pretty stiff there, so it's hard to get that in, but it still got it in there. So there he has the Thor's hammer, so now he can fight against Thor. And then he does also come with Captain America's shield. Now unfortunately with this figure, he doesn't come with any additional hands or anything, so he only has the one hand with the grip hand, and then he has the shield that has this design where it has grip for one side and slide up the arm. So it's like, oh, you could probably slide it up this, but because this gauntlet has this fin on the back of it, you can't really get it slid up there either. So it's really hard to figure out what to do with this. So see, you can only get it slid up that far, so you can't even get it slid all the way up on his arm. So there's many different options people have tried. Like I know people have slid up on the arm here and kind of tried to hook this piece so like that it kind of hooks like that, or just get it slid up as far as you can on the arm and just do whatever you can to make it look good. But unfortunately it's just meant to go in this hand as well because the picture, so you kind of have to pick and choose between Thor's hammer or Captain America's shield, which for me, since he has the design of Captain America, I would just go with the Thor's hammer just because he doesn't need the shield as well. But I would love for him to have the shield on the other arm, but unfortunately with the way this is designed, and that since they didn't throw in any extra hands like grip hands or anything, it makes this difficult to get it to work out, and with the design of the gauntlets and stuff. So not a good overall design for the figure in that aspect. They should have done something more and got it to work out, but unfortunately I think they kind of short-sighted that, so that stinks really bad. But overall I think the figure's cool. Like I said, I feel they should have modified it to at least update it for more Marvel Legends and to be able to use this shield, but it's just what we got, so it stinks, but it's still a cool figure. Well, that's going to be it for our Hasbro Marvel Legends Avengers 60th Anniversary single release figures. I know it's hard to fit them all in here because of how tall Super-Adaptoid is, but we got Iron Man in the Model 1 armor, Black Widow, Hawkeye with the Sky Cycle, as well as Super-Adaptoid. So all four of these are really cool. Like I said, Super-Adaptoid is definitely like the most disappointing one just because I feel he should work out a little bit better to hold both the weapons, but all the other characters are really good. These are definitely like the best versions of Black Widow and Hawkeye. Love this Iron Man. Like I said, there's just something about down with the real basic design of this Iron Man that I just love, and especially the way it's built. So a lot of cool things with all of these different figures, and really excited to add them to our collection now. But let me know what you thought of them all down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank y'all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.